off on one of those shorter trips, just a little locally, to make sure a wheel doesn't come off after maintenance and stuff like that. Well, here we are, back to some piss poor travel videos. It's where we camped up for a couple of nights. So you can camp in here. It's quite a reasonable campground, just up a bit further. Two reasonable campgrounds actually, with less trees than where we are in Gordon country, Goomburra. The odd serious hole on the way in. This first track we went in is the Mount Castle Lookout Trail, lazy 480 metres in. Looks out over the Lockyer Valley and you can actually see Brisbane, the big buildings of Brisbane there in the background. Second track, another 480 metre job into Sylvester Lookout, and it looks out over the Fassifern Valley, Mount Maroon, Mount Barney, lots of mountains there actually. We were joined by some very friendly bird life on day two. A magnificent day, albeit a nice cold start with a little gentle frost. Where are we? Croaking it. Yeah, well, that's appropriate. I do feel like having a heart attack tonight. But here we are on a reasonably easy trail, and we have a seat for the aged, the weary and the infirm. I'm not sure how many of them today, closer to the aged I think, but thinking of a heart attack. And the third track we got into is one called Dalrymple Circuit, about 1 kilometre through lots of very impressive manna gum trees. How good are these trees? Big trees. This was a 36.6 metre Sydney blue gum, yep, which of course is a eucalypt. A dirty big tree.
More than 500 years old.
More than 500 years old.
Two men felled the tree in 1962, intended for the matchstick industry, and they were unsuccessful due to rust, a fungal disease, which killed them.
Up here in some of the headwaters of the Connemine River, ends up of course at the mouth of the Murray, way down in South Oz. at 1.2 kilometres, but this is the second seat for the aged, the weary and the infirmed. More seats at this small lookout. You could even have a wee lie down here if your chest pains were that bad. So we're at the branching of the 1.2 or the 6.2 kilometre walk, and again there's another seat. They must have a lot of heart attacks experienced along this. It's a bit late in the day to run 6Ks, but such is life. Certainly a long way from the hardest track we've done. I think that's the fourth resting area for the aged, the weary, the infirmed. Yet another seat on the journey around whatever this is. I'll have a look later. The old black cockatoo, he lives here too. I don't think he'll be as cranky, aggressive and noisy as his white brother. It was very windy on the first night, as in really windy. Those trees are a wonder of natural engineering to be able to flex so much without breaking. But of course, eventually they do crash on top of something. Not sure what these things are, Ineos Grenadiers or Land Rover, but they're certainly breeding. Three, same colour, all travelling together. Quite bizarre. Three of them, same colour, three of them. This is where we camped at the retreat in Gordon Country, Goomburra. There seems to be a gathering of blue thingamajigs, Ineos Grenadiers or Land Rovers. An interesting grouping of metal sculptures on the way in and out. My wife actually wanted to come down here to Gordon Country. I wasn't that keen. However, all turned out well, and there's lots and lots of tracks. Could come back and do some of the longer ones later. Goomburra holds a little bit of significance from my wife's side of the family's perspective. So we stopped and just grabbed a little footage here, a few pictures. Fuel consumption, we ended up at 18.2 litres to the 100, a bit more than I thought. Wasn't any exciting ups and downs. However, a guy that I recently did it in a Land Cruiser 300, his new 300, about the same GCM as us, ended up with 24, so way better than that. Not that hilly, and we were travelling light. We were probably running around 6 tonnes, 5.9.